Week 4 of On Top the Cage starts now. I have a little bit of a shaky voice from this past weekend. Dan may have to introduce some of these games.
Wait a minute. It's your birthday. Today is your birthday.
It is. Today.
We're not talking about anything but your birthday.
Open up. We always do birthday well wishes. I have a lot of well wishes from a lot of people, so thank you all. At least the ones that are watching on the show, I guess. But yeah, I'm not a big person of fanfare. I don't really like it. Actually, I tried to take my birth date out of our database at work so people wouldn't know. I did it like 2 or 3 times since I've been there. I got in trouble the last time I tried to do it.
Hacking into the system.
Yes. Like you're messing with the system, Ken. So
look out.
Anyway,
Tom is still here, and he's got a gift for you.
Yes, sir. Crack commentary from Tom may happen again this evening. He is behind set. My wife is there as well right now. So I got another early. Well, it's not early, I guess, but
this is actually from Kevin and Teddy. I like Billy and Grant, except I paid for it.
That's the way it works.
I wanted you to wear this tonight.
You want me to wear it tonight?
Yeah.
Oh boy, I'm a little nervous. Oh boy, yeah, that's not going to happen. I'm not sure what it is yet, but
those are sweet.
Look at the front, Ken.
Oh my goodness, look at these bears.
Bear down.
Bear down. Yes, these are awesome. Thank you very much.
Dude,
Pajama
you're
pants.
set to go to Walmart whenever you want.
That's right. That's absolutely right.
Holy hell.
It's a great present. I love it. I love it. Holy hell is right.
I think
Dude.
Please show the front.
My wife is like this. She's like cringing a little bit.
That
I
is.
think they're the same on both sides. If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
That side says bear down.
All right,
Oh
there you
my
go.
God, those are freaking awesome. You wear those, I'll wear my brown Zubas.
Oh no,
I-
you don't.
What?
Do you really have
Yeah,
Zubas?
hell
The
yeah.
stripes?
I have Notre Dame Zubas and brown Zubas, and they look brand new still.
Bro. Dude,
I'm wearing
I don't
them.
know
I'll wear
about
them on
all
the show.
that. Holy gosh. That's funny. But no, it is my birthday. Thank you for all the well wishes. Thank you for the
Those are
present. I
sweet,
appreciate
dude.
it. I have another present on the table right now. Dan and I both had successful records, but we're not into what happened last week. That's why the shots are on the table, though. So, and another good thing that happened is Dan's football team, which is a staple of the show, the Green Youth Football Update. You were idle last week, right?
We're on a bye, thank God. We got 2 kids coming off of injury.
That's good because I have a doozy of an intro to give you. As you know,
We should do the beer review
we
first.
should. I'm going to need it.
Yeah.
You hear my voice is a little bit raspy already, so we should do the beer review. It's Dan's portion of the show. Dan, what do we got?
We have it's called Stage Fright from Lenny Boy Brewing Company in Charlotte, North Carolina. So I'm assuming you picked this up on vacation.
I did. I picked it up on our summer vacation in Hilton Head. I picked it up also because of the name, something that Dan nor I suffer from, stage fright.
Yeah.
What's our-
8% alcohol by volume, and then it says Stage Fright Hazy Double IPA, brewed strong enough for you to forget your worries.
I know what double means. It means the alcohol content's heavy.
8%.
I'm not drinking 2 of these tonight. I'll be a mess. We did a
It's your
birthday shot
Did
before.
you call in sick tomorrow, or did you call in sick today?
Actually, not. I'm not doing either of those. Actually, we have the company potluck tomorrow at KNR.
What are you taking?
I'm not taking anything because I got tasked with grilling the burgers and dogs along with one of my other buddy partners, John. But meanwhile, we have this grill there. It's a nice Weber grill, but it's small. Like the grilling surface is small. So it's going to be a little bit of a task getting all the burgers and dogs off in a timely fashion. Is it good?
Yeah.
I haven't went in yet.
I thought it would be heavier. I mean, by the look of your pour, it's not. It doesn't have that heavy.
Good looking beer. Good looking beer. Yes, picked it because of the name and also
Lenny boy. It's
I'm a-
Lenny and his dog on the can.
I'm assuming that the dog's name is Lenny. Be my guess. Lenny boy.
Yeah, probably.
So we love dogs around here, as you know that. So all right.
That's good.
The whole intro is going to be about what happened on Saturday with myself and my children and my kids who went up to the Notre Dame football game. I'm not going to bury the lead. The reason why we were there is my good friend from home, Ronnie, gifted us tickets. And I'll do this in somewhat chronological order, but we eventually made it to their tailgate. I say eventually, and you're going to hear why in a minute. But his crew could not have been more hospitable. They were amazing from Ronnie, his partner Rich, Paul was there, auctioneer Esker was there.
Man, what kind of food did they have?
I didn't end up eating it, but I know
You
they had
never
a big,
eat.
They had a big. I tell you what. Well, we were tailgate where we were, but you know, Dan's been in Notre Dame plenty of times. You know where Notre Dame, the front of Notre Dame Stadium is, that big parking lot right there.
Oh, yeah.
They had the very first tent.
Nice.
Yes. So obviously they had
know
some pull.
somebody.
So
They know a priest.
Ando, I missed him. I'm not going to mention his profession. In any event, they couldn't have been better and more hospitable. So I greatly appreciate it. Not bearing the lead, but boy, do I have a lot of stories from the outset to the end of this whole thing. So, and we're going to start with who was going. Myself, Connor, and Keaton. Connor and Keaton, both OSU students, all wearing the red. I had originally, when we were gifted tickets from my buddy, asked Dan to go if he wanted to go. Dan and I kind of share the same type of mentality. It's way better in the garage with free beers or cheap beers, and you know, you pee when you want to. You don't have to fight the crowd. This, that. Dan passed. So my buddy Adam and his 11-year-old son Joel went. So we're a 5-pack going to the game. And Adam was wildly excited about it. My buddy, he rented a vehicle, a great big vehicle like Dan drives.
OSU kids, you're in between because of your kids and Notre Dame. Adam is OSU?
He's an OSU grad.
OSU
and he's obviously brainwashed his son as well into being an OSU. They're all decked head to toe red. I'm the only one wearing Notre Dame. Not green because I don't green, but I'm wearing this, whatever, Notre Dame hat on backwards the whole day. Some that says cheers on the front, some green on it. It's the best I could do with my outfit. But meanwhile, so Adam shows up here about 7 in the morning. Pry the kids out of bed. We're all ready to go. The truck is packed to the gills. I mean, you know it's a huge vehicle from your wife having one. So it's got 3 rows.
Huge.
He rented the vehicle because none of us had that big
Wagoneer.
vehicle. Yep. And we got all of it between the tent, all this food, all these coolers, cornhole boards, carpet, some monster stereo system thing. I mean, we're ready, right? So anyway, we're packed. And we're on our way there. We didn't get too far, and I was questioning the GPS already, and I told Dan a little bit about this.
Yeah, that route I would have never.
It took us a little bit of a different route to get there. I thought we were going to go straight to the Ohio Turnpike and just take a left.
It's a straight
and
shot.
Go all the way, right? Right. It didn't.
Yeah, it's like left turn, turnpike, left turn, you're at Notre Dame.
It had us meandering in the country, kind of, in Amish country, as we were trying to make our way up to kind of cut the corner, if you will, to make it up to the Ohio Turnpike. And obviously bad idea for a couple of different reasons. One, we ran into an accident. We got backed up. Never saw the accident, but we got backed up, and there was a pretty significant line. So we decided we're going to, turn around from that. There's got to be different other country roads to make it up to the Ohio Turnpike. So we turn around, and we're on another country road, and Adam missed a turn. He did, because, I mean, they come up quick, and like we're in the middle of nowhere at this point in time, and we're driving really slow, and Adam's going to turn to a private drive, and the person behind us, we just started turn, and bang, they hit the front right of our car. They were going to pass us. They were tired of us driving slow. Pretty ugly scene.
You were turning left
into a private drive to turn around because we had missed our
How did they
turn.
hit the front right of your car?
They were behind us, and they were passing on the left because they were tired of us driving
So they hit
slow.
the front left.
They hit the front driver's side, correct.
Yeah, not the front right.
You got it. Banged us into a culvert. We're kind of teetering in this culvert. He lost his entire front wheel. I mean, it was a pretty smash-up accident. Everybody was perfectly fine, health-wise.
That's because you were in a Wagoneer. What was he driving?
He was driving a big truck. Big
Pickup?
F-150, 250 blue truck. Big-ass tires on it. That right tire was fucked. Anyway, so it's funny. All right, we're like, what the hell just happened? We all get out of the car. It's funny. Adam visibly shook him, but anyway, all wearing his red, Ohio State gear. We all pile out of the car except for me wearing the red. The guy who gets out of the truck wearing a Michigan hoodie.
Oh, get the hell out of here!
He was late too. He told us he was on his way to the Michigan Rutgers game. So
what time was this?
Probably 8:30 in the morning.
Get the hell out of here.
Something like that. Yeah, I'm like, this is a fucking hate crime.
Hate crime. Yeah, no shit.
Michigan guy banging this guy in the red buck.
He did it on purpose. Passed it on the left.
So yeah,
and then bashing into a bunch of Ohio State and Notre Dame fans. Get the hell out of here.
It was an ugly scene.
Did he have khakis on?
No, he had shorts and a Michigan hoodie. And he has his daughter with him. She was wearing similar outfit, if you will. We all pile out of the car. Connor's visibly distraught because, and Adam's a little bit shook, and he was the driver. And Connor's like, we're not going to make it. We're not going to go. Like, he really, really wanted to go. Keaton, on the other hand, he's like, fuck it. I'll watch that game in the garage with Dad. That place is sweet. I enjoy that shit. But
Somebody
anyway.
kicked that Michigan guy in the nuts?
No. It was all friendly. And we're all out of the car. But then Joel, Adam's 11-year-old son, who's like in the very back. Because Connor and Keaton are in the middle row. I'm in the passenger seat. And then Joel has one of the things, and the other flap is down because we got all kinds of shit. In any event, I'm like, where the fuck's Joel? Because the car's like teetering in his culvert. And he's still in the back. And I look in there. He's on his phone. He's 100% ratting out his dad to his wife. Like, Dad tried to kill us, I think, probably. But anyway, he was
His dad didn't do anything wrong.
So,
Freaking, you can't pass on the left. The dude's turning into a driveway.
So we sized up the situation for a while. I called my wife immediately, and after talking to everybody, I'm like, Connor wants to go really bad, and we got plenty of time. We were scheduled to arrive in South Bend noon. Game doesn't kick till 7:30. We got time.
Yeah, you
right?
got time.
We got time.
You just missed game day.
We did, and I didn't necessarily have to talk Adam into it. But at first, he's like, "I'm not going." He's like, "I'm so upset. I'm not going," type of thing. But he quickly changed. It took about 10 minutes, and it wasn't me convincing him.
Dude,
it was
did
him
anybody
coming
crack a beer on the side of the road? Because I know you got a beer in the cooler.
We did.
Fuck, I'd have been standing there drinking.
I called my wife. I'm like, bring the Bronco, bring your car, bring 2 cars. We're going to unload half of this thing because in my Bronco, it's not near as big as that Wagoneer. I'm going to drive the rest of the way. So they make it there about an hour later because we were a good hour away in the country, like in Amish country, right? So the tow truck, it took a while before, they got there before the tow trucks even got there. Both vehicles got towed away. It was pretty ugly.
How did you not drink a beer sitting there waiting?
It's 8 in the morning.
What the hell else are you going to do?
So, well, it's not a good look. So anyway, we survived all this. We put half of this, we could only take the staples. We took both
beer.
coolers. Right, yeah, both coolers, things like that. We decided we're going to go. I drove the rest of the way. Literally the first group picture that we have for the trip is with a deputy.
Nice.
Whenever that starts
Should have been
that
you
way,
guys pummeling
you,
that Michigan dude.
Shit, you're not off to a good start when the first group picture includes a deputy.
At least there wasn't a chalk line.
So, yes, you're right. It could. If we got another half second or second in that turn, it was going to be really, really, really ugly. I'm very thankful for that we were all okay physically. So that's good. Horrible start, but we made our way. Got to the turnpike finally. One stop. We had to stop at that point in time to, get a bite to eat, whatever it is.
What? You stopped?
We did. And then Connor wound up, man. Connor wound up about this game. And we're walking to the Travel Plaza. And I don't know.
Were you still in Ohio?
I think we were in Indiana at that. But there was all kinds of Ohio State people there, all kinds of Notre Dame people there. It was just chock full. We're walking in. There's like a 12-year-old girl walking out wearing Notre Dame stuff. Connor says some wild shit to her. I don't know. I'm like, Connor, she's 12. That's when I knew things were going to go so well the whole weekend or the whole night with Connor because he was wound up and ready to go.
How was that getting Ohio-Indiana border? 1 lane bullshit.
It wasn't bad at all. It wasn't. They
Really?
got most of it clear. It's a very short stretch now where there's only 1 lane. So it didn't affect us at all, really.
That's insane.
At some point in time, we were driving 45, 50 miles an hour for just like a mile or 2 and things like that. It wasn't bad at all. It didn't affect us. So we get there. We get there around 2 o'clock. We're supposed to be at noon. 2 o'clock, we got a parking pass. Adam had prepaid for whatever situation. Notre Dame's, and you've been there. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous campus. There's lots of green space, this, that. We're on the parking lot about a mile north of campus, and which is perfect. And it's funny, we get our parking spot, and we're next to the people, these Ohio State people. They're all set up. They got their tent like we were supposed to have all the other shit. I'm borrowing shit right and left. I tell them the story. I'm like, we need some Solo cups. Those went back. We need some napkins. We need some other shit. They were super gracious. He was actually a former Ohio State player, and he actually got drafted in the 10th round. I think he said by the Rams. I'm not mistaken, but they were super gracious. We spent a couple hours there, but we had lots of people to see. Namely Ronnie, but also my brother-in-law Tim was up there. I wanted to try to find him, so we spent an hour or so out, fired back drinks. We're ready to go. Raring to go, man. It's been a hell of a day already, right? So
yeah,
we're raring to go.
I'm surprised you didn't fire any back already.
So, but we're on the north side of things, and it was perfect because we got to walk by the grotto and then by the church and then up to the stadium, and we make our way up through all these like iconic things.
Oh, yeah.
And our first stop is the grotto, right? And Dan, you're familiar with that, kind of the cave with the candles, right?
Yep.
Very, very religious place. When you go there, I've been there before, and you're supposed to be quiet. And you're supposed to be respectful.
For the people yeah.
Yes, and you say a prayer, you light your candle, you say a prayer, right? While we're down there, Connor Keaton and myself, all of us with our red solo cups in the grotto, loud as hell. You better pray for your team to win. Like things like this. Yeah, it wasn't a good scene. We got a good picture.
Come on, man.
So yeah,
see, this is
wild.
Ohio State fans get a bad rap because of shit like that.
Yeah,
no respect.
Didn't get a whole lot better. So we're making our way up towards the stadium, right? And the next stop, and it was perfect because I get to run to my brother-in-law Tim, and he's at the church. The church.
That's fairly close to the grotto.
Yep, and the church where the team's in the church, and then they come out and they take that like 150-yard, maybe 200-yard long walk down that big wide sidewalk right over. So we're there waiting for the team to come out. It's awesome. I get to see my brother Tim. By the way, Kim, I know you called and wished me happy birthday. I'm sorry I didn't get back to you. It's been a wild night here as well. So we're there, right? Waiting for the team to come out, but they're kind of late. And we've been there for like 10 minutes, and things aren't going that well because I'm there, obviously, with Tim, but the only Ohio State fans there, because Ohio State doesn't give a shit about the team walking out, right? And it's all lined up with these Notre Dame fans, like, yeah, let's win, blah, 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 shake hands, blah, 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 as they go by. The only people that are Ohio State fans there are my crew, right?
Oh, good grief.
Good grief is right. I got Adam with me, right? So we're there. Adam, OSU grad, also happens to be part of the Glee Club at Ohio State when he was there. So he starts singing the fight song for Ohio State. And when people sing the fight song, they know like a snippet or so of it. No, this motherfucker knows every word. He's singing at the top of his lungs for like 3.5 minutes the entire Ohio State fight song. Connor's like getting in arguments with people, the Notre Dame fans. He's saying all kinds of wild stuff. We had to leave. We left.
Yeah, no, I'm surprised you didn't get your ass beat.
We left before the team came out. We had
the devil was almost coming up going, dude, you guys got to go.
We 100% outwore our welcome. I'm like chastising Connor. Like, it's a disaster. So.
Oh, my God.
Anyway, at that point in time, Adam and his son Joel and Connor Keaton and I, we split up. Adam wanted to go see the Heisman Trophy. It was in the Jug Center or whatever it's called. You know what I'm talking about, right?
So why would you take him in there? He's just being a douche.
Who?
Adam.
I didn't go with him. Him and his son wanted to go see the Heisman Trophy. I was trying to make it to Ronnie's tailgate. I needed more drinks because we had.
Too bad you didn't run into Lou Holtz. Would have kicked him in the nuts.
That's right.
86-year-old nut kicker.
That's right. So we eventually, I'm chastising Connor, but anyway, things got better from there. We finally make it to my buddy Ronnie's tailgate. Like I said, they're in the first, tent, first spot right outside of the stadium. Great. They had all kinds of food.
The main entrance. So you're south of the stadium.
Yep. We were north, and we made our way just south of the stadium. Yeah. And like they were in the first spot. So, and they were great. We spent like an hour there, and then we went to the game like at 6:30. And Connor got in a little bit of trouble with the other Notre Dame fans. Connor, love him to death. He's better to go to home games than away games. He's a home game person. So anyway. It was super fun. I'm so happy that we made it. I was fearful that we weren't going to make it. We did. I'm grateful for that experience with Connor Keaton. I'm sure Adam is with his son Joel.
Tied up and taking a confession or something.
No kidding. It was a wild thing. I tell you what, Dan, whirlwind. So we stayed at the Airbnb afterwards and things like that, and it was, I don't know. I was gone for less than 30 hours. I tell you what, when I got back, like it was like I just got back from a stretch from Leavenworth or something. I give my wife like a big hug. I'm like, I'm so thankful to be home. I give the other boys a hug. I'm like hugging on the dog. Dude, it was the longest fucking 30 hours, I swear to God, of my life. We had a great time.
How was your place?
So it was great, but we showed up at like 1 in the morning or something like that, and whatever. They were starving. There was like some leftover hash browns somehow in a bag, Ore-Ida, or whatever it is, and some chicken nuggets. Bunch of butter skillet. That's all we had because nothing was open.
In the place or
in the place. Like luckily, whoever was there before, the owners or whatever the situation. I mean, that was it. That was in there. So, meanwhile, I'm there chefing like just these hash browns and these old chicken nuggets. I'm still drinking beers. Yeah, Exactly. So, and then we left in the morning, got home, and I swear to God, I haven't. I'm too old for that shit. I'll summarize it as that. At one point in time, I told Connor I'll never go to a football game with you again. Like I'd had enough, type of thing.
Holy hell.
But anyway, he had a great time, and I love it that he had a great time. So that is it. I know it was a very long intro. Let's get into last week, and you see the shots on the table. They're probably warm by now. That means Dan and I both have positive records. Dan went 9-7 last week. I went 10-6. We both have the exact same record on the year, which is a pretty darn good record if you ask me. It's 26, 21, and 1 for each of us.
And our elephant picks.
We both share the same elephant pick record too. We both advanced to 2-1 on the season. We both were on Philadelphia. I think it's the first time in the history of the show that we both pick the same elephant pick. It worked out well. Philadelphia had that game in hand. So that is where we are at in regards to this. As far as other stuff that we mentioned, we got to do that Survivor pool. I'm out. I'll tell you in a second.
Oh, yeah. New shot glasses.
If you can't tell, it's a little football inside of a thing.
It looks like a testicle. If we put them here together, it's two testicles. But they're actually footballs inside this glass.
And they're looking for you. They're little beer shots again. I'm kind of nervous. Is it going to come out all right? Mm-hmm. Just fine.
Yep.
Just fine. So, very good. Another birthday present for me. Like I was mentioning, I'm out of the Survivor pool. We had 4 of us entered. Katie, myself, Connor, and Keaton. Connor, the only one standing. Keaton and I, Katie bowed out last week. Win? I don't know, 240, 340. I think 17 people, 340 bucks for the winner, I think is what it is. Just a little family pool.
So, who's still in it? I mean, there's more people.
Oh yeah. Out of our,
I thought you did it in the house.
We had 4 entrants from our family alone, which was Katie, myself, and then Connor and Keaton. Katie went out last week, I think, with Detroit. The previous week, I guess. And this week, I went out with Jacksonville, and Keaton went out with Dallas. Connor was on San Francisco. He's a lone survivor of our family, so hopefully he can win the whole thing. So,
Dallas.
Anyway, my goodness. So, I think we're on to football.
Yeah, let's go.
How's my voice? Does it sound all right?
Fine.
It's fine?
It sounds better than earlier. You're all lubed up now.
I am lubed up. Man, was I happy to be home. I had a great time, but damn, was I happy to be home. In any event, Thursday Night Football starts with a division rival in a division game in the NFC North. It's the Detroit Lions traveling to Green Bay to play the Packers. Both these teams have the exact same record of 2-1. Detroit is a 2-point favorite. This is the second time in 4 weeks that Detroit will play on Thursday Night Football.
Night.
How about that? That's something. Detroit comes off, talk about the Wade team first. They come off of their home win against Atlanta. Detroit, they're a better than average team on both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
Goff's played pretty well for there. They got a pretty good offense. They got a pretty good defense. And that Aiden Hutchinson kid, I think he's coming into his own, man. He's really playing well.
He is playing well for a Michigan dude.
That defense had 7 sacks last week. So their defense is playing really well, and they got playmakers on offense. And then we got Green Bay. Green Bay did not score until the fourth quarter of their game last week. They do come off a home win against New Orleans. They were down 17-0. They scored the last 18 points of the game in the fourth quarter. Jordan Love came up clutch, I guess.
Who's the DC for the Saints? Is it that's the guy from the Browns?
I don't know because their head coach was
name?
their defensive coordinator a couple of years ago before Peyton passed the torch there, if you will.
Who the hell did we just get rid of?
God, I'm not going to be able to come up with this.
Oh, shit. He was at San Francisco. Then he came over when Stefanski got the job. And I want to say Woods, but I don't think that's right. Damn it.
I don't know that. Maybe Dan will come up with it later in the show. I know that intro was long. I think Green Bay gets a couple of their playmakers back this week. They get Aaron Jones back, I know for sure. I think Christian Watson's going to be up as well, which is probably the best receiver on that football team. Makes me a little nervous. Big division game. Packers. Lions favored by 2 in this game. I don't know where to go on this thing.
I'm going with Detroit. I think Green Bay skated, got lucky. Detroit, they're playing good. They're tough. Campbell's going to have them fired up. Just because they haven't won in Green Bay, and
they won last year. They won last year at Sunday Night Football last game. Remember, they were supposed to go to the playoffs, but Seattle won.
Yeah.
And they certainly knocked Green Bay out of it if they were in contention. God, I was 100% going Detroit. I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to go with the Packers on this game. It's Watson being back. It's Aaron Jones being back. You can't play 1 quarter of football, Daddy. You got to play 4 quarters of football. It's not going to happen against Lions unless you do. Dan, our odds in the first game. Dan's on the Lions. I'm going to take the Packers getting the 2 points. I have no idea which way it's going to go. My personal money will not, well, it will be because it's the only game on Thursday night, so I'm sure I'll personally play it.
The intro was long.
For sure.
My beer's already gone. Hey, you know what? They don't give us any money, so I'm not going to advertise for them.
Fair enough.
I noticed that when I was watching the show
That what?
that logo for that beer.
Bud Light?
Yeah.
Why are you afraid to say it? I don't know what's going on here right now.
Because I'm not. I mean, everybody knows I drink Bud Light, but I'm going to have it on here.
No,
I mean, if you're a newbie on here,
all right, fair.
I'm not advertising for them. They don't give me any friggin' money to drink the shit.
They don't. Nobody pays us anything. We need sponsorships for sure. I'm all for that. Sunday football starts very early, and it's the first of 3 weeks in a row where we're going to have morning football. It starts at 9:30 a.m. at Wembley Stadium in London.
That starts this. I thought it started in October. Wait,
Nope.
Is it October?
It's the first of 3 weeks in a row where we're going to have a 9:30 a.m. football game. It is Atlanta Falcons traveling. Playing the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jaguars are considered the home team over there, and they played over there more than most. The Jaguars are 3-point favorites in this game. Atlanta's 2-1. The Jags are 1-2. I thought they were really good. They haven't played well so far early in the season. Atlanta comes off of their loss in Detroit, where they couldn't really get their run game going, and Desmond Ritter's not a good enough quarterback to carry that team if they can't get the run game going. Detroit stopped their run, and then it made them a little bit one-dimensional, and Ritter couldn't carry them. I mentioned this game, and I don't know if you've heard anything about this, and I don't want to bury it. They're also doing this. First of all, this game's on ESPN Plus, which I don't think I have. I had ESPN Plus. I canceled the subscription a while back, and then they're also doing this wild animated thing with Toy Story. Did you hear about that?
I saw that.
It's on Disney Plus, where literally, apparently it's real time. It's going to be in Andy's bedroom from Toy Story, and all these players are going to be playing like in real time, like characters, and they're going to run 3 yards or whatever. I mean, I have no idea what this animation is.
That's Disney Plus.
Because
I know, because I saw that and I can't see.
I don't know if I'm opted to watch either of them. I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm not. That's because this is why I thought the over the border or where the hell Europe games were going to start later.
They're this week, and it's going to be the next couple of weeks going forward as well.
No, that's fine. Screw them, because that Spectrum thing, no one watches shit.
Yeah, I don't know if well, I do a lot of things on Sunday morning, and I would
tune into Westwood One. I'm sure they'll have the game.
Radio, you're not going to get the Toy Story version, I'm sure. But anyway,
who
to
can
recap, Jacksonville's -3. Jacksonville comes off a bad loss at home against the Houston Texans, where they struggle with the Texans every year. I
was shocked when I saw that score.
So was I. I went out on my survivor pick on it, but they had a really bad all-around game. They gave up a kickoff return touchdown. They gave up, they had a field goal blocked. They just have not played well. This is their home away from home. They're used to being here. They're -3 in this game. That always happens, and it drives me bonkers.
I'll take a win.
So, who's going to win this game, Dan?
I don't know. Jacksonville hasn't been playing that good, and they're traveling after they came off of that loss. So I don't know how the preparation's going to be, where they're practicing. Atlanta, I don't know. I don't. Jacksonville's defense hasn't stepped up. -3 over there. Screw it. I'm taking Atlanta.
Yeah. I'm going to go with Jacksonville. They're so familiar with London and playing there. They're actually going to play there again next week. They're staying there, home away from home, if you will. I expect this team to bounce back. I think they're the better football team. I think they can stop the run in game of the Falcons. I like the Jags -3. I'm willing to give up the 3 points. The regular Sunday 1 p.m. slate starts with the in-laws team, the Miami Dolphins. Huge division game. We're at odds on both the first 2 games. Yeah. And then I've been pretty consistent,
Well, this next game.
Last week we had 4 different. The first week we had like 2 different. So Dan and I are not on the same page right now. It's Miami at Buffalo, a huge division football game. And the best football game on the board. This should be Sunday Night Football for sure.
Yeah, this
we
is
expected
crazy.
Sunday Night Football to be great. It's not. It's going to be a long time before we get there, but we'll tell you why
I
it's
wish
not
we
great.
weren't playing the Ratbirds because I would tune into this.
It is a 3-0 Miami Dolphins traveling to Orchard Park to play the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo's 2-1. Buffalo has been installed as 3-point favorites in this game. We talk about Miami, home team or away team first. Huge home win against Denver. It was over by maybe the middle of the second quarter. They put up a 70-burger.
What the hell's going on
On
with
the
Sean
Broncos.
Payton and fixing Russell Wilson? I mean, that team's a mess.
An
They are
absolute
a
disaster.
mess.
After you ripped Nathaniel Hackett
Yeah.
for running such a loose ship, and they're an absolute disaster. I'll tell you what, Dan,
Karma, baby.
not only that, but you don't lose a game by 50 points in the National Football League.
That's why I was shocked when I was
unless-
flipping through and looking at the scores, and I was like, wait, what?
As a coach, unless what happens?
The players say, F you.
They quit. Unless the players quit. And you cannot, it's impossible to
So-
lose a game in the National Football League by 50 points unless you quit.
How much money do they have in their quarterback and the coach?
Yeah, it's nuts. Too much.
I
Too
mean,
much. I don't know the exact answer to it,
That's insane.
but I don't want to talk about Denver but they're coming up here.
They
in just a
suck.
minute,
We're not
but-
going to talk about them even when they come up.
Let's talk about the in-laws team, and they all watch. My in-laws always watch the show here, and let's talk about they're giddy over their team. They have the best offense in the National Football League. I don't think there's any other way around that. And then they debuted a new shiny toy, Devon Achane, a running back that they drafted in the second round of this past draft. He's a burner. He scored 4 touchdowns for them. He had over 200 yards of scrimmage yards between rushing and receiving. Like, they needed more fucking speed on that team. Anyway, here's the thing, though. 70 points. Points don't carry over. You're going to Orchard Park, talk about the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills won in the nation's capital against the Washington Commanders very soundly as well. I think that final was 37-3. They won by a huge margin as well. It was their defense that carried the day in regards to that. I think they got 4 or 5 turnovers. They had multiple sacks. I want to say 7, 8 sacks, 9 sacks. I don't know what it was. They're kind of rounding into form and becoming the Buffalo Bills that, has been the last couple of years. I thought things might be getting stale there. I mean, it's a huge division game. And here's the deal. Miami sits at 3-0. Buffalo sits at 2-1. This game's in Buffalo. If the Dolphins win this game, they can squarely put themselves in the catbird seat of that very good division. And come get us.
Yeah, no.
What's going to happen, Dan?
Buffalo's defense is good. They're good.
This is a huge opportunity for the Fins
Their
to take complete
offense-
control of this division.
Their offense, they can't run the ball. I'm not sold on the run. Their offensive line can't run block. They don't have a runner other than Josh Allen. And Miami's defense, they're pretty damn good.
They are, and they're missing Jalen Ramsey. They're going to get him back midseason at some point in time.
I'm taking Miami in this. I mean, until somebody stops him. I mean, that's
We haven't seen him stopped yet, really. Right. I don't.
unbelievable.
It is. I mean,
There's a ton of weapons. I mean, that's hard with the speed and the routes and the motions. And
and they played last week's game without Jalen Waddle.
yeah.
Obviously, they debuted that new toy I talked about, Devon Achane. Tom was here. My brother-in-law Kevin was here. I mean, they were having a lot of fun. The bell was fucking ringing over here. Touchdown bell. I agree with Dan. I'm not until somebody stops them. Show me. Show me. And this is just a huge opportunity. And I know Mike McDaniel knows that. If they win this game in Orchard Park, that puts them at 4-0. Puts the Buffalo Bills at 2-2. The other teams are not going to threaten these two teams. They have one of the series wins in their back pocket, and you got to come beat us in Miami. So I love it. They got a huge opportunity in front of them. I think they grab it. I'm on the Fins as well, getting the 3 points in this game. Next game on the board, not as good a game. Minnesota and Carolina.
Good grief.
These two teams combined have won 0 games. 0 games. Minnesota's 3.5-point favorite on the road in Carolina. Minnesota lost at home, a back-and-forth barn-burner game against the Los Angeles Chargers. Carolina lost in Seattle. They didn't have Bryce Young in that game. We'll talk about them in a minute. Minnesota, they keep turning the ball over.
Yeah.
They lead the National Football League in turnovers. Through 3 games, they've turned the ball over 9 times. They're not a horrible team, but remember last year they were winning all those one-score games?
Yeah,
they won
they're not
11
doing it.
one-score games.
Yeah.
Now, so far this season, they've lost all 3 of their games by less than a score.
Yeah.
So, karma has switched, luck has switched, whatever you want to say. I mean, they're not devoid of talent on either side of the ball.
No.
They just haven't found a way to win. Carolina, Andy Dalton played last week. We know they have a bad offensive line. Andy Dalton doesn't have mobility. That's not going to go well.
Nope.
I think they're going to get Bryce Young back this week. Carolina's
Was
at
he out
home.
with an ankle?
I don't know what it was. I feel like he's going to play. I don't think. No. I don't know. I don't know that. I was going to say concussion, but I think I'm wrong about that too.
No, it wasn't a concussion.
No. That was Richardson. That's right. I'm confusing the quarterbacks at this point in time. 3.5. Is Carolina bad enough that Minnesota's going to go on the road and win this game by more
Yeah,
than a field
this
goal?
is Minnesota's first victory.
I agree.
We're going to have Cousins wearing his gold chain on the plane.
Maybe that's me because the Bears have Carolina's first round pick, hoping they lose. But I think Minnesota's considerably better football team than the Carolina Panthers. I think they shove them to 0-4. I think they cover the number. Dan, I agree again. We're on Minnesota. Next game on the board, the Denver Broncos travel to play the Chicago Football Bears.
The 2 worst teams in the NFL.
Talking about
And I hate to. I mean, I like.
You're not wrong.
I picked Chicago to win that division,
Yeah,
but
I thought the Bears.
they're awful. I mean, they're a freaking train
I can't.
wreck.
You want to know how bad the Bears are? The Denver Broncos lost by a half a fucking 100 points last week. They travel on the road. They're 3.5 point favorites against my Bears. Holy shit! You lose by a half 100 and you're 3.5 point favorites. What does that say about Chicago?
Dude,
Jesus.
who's the coach?
For the Bears,
Eberflus?
Eberflus. Yes,
Where's he from?
he was the Indianapolis defensive coordinator.
Okay, so he got hired as Indianapolis. He was the defensive coordinator when, what's his face, McDaniels was supposed to take the job, and then he backed out, and then he was stayed. Okay, your Bears are a mess. That he needs fired. Poles needs fired. That team's a mess. They're just screwing up Justin Fields because he's got talent.
He has talent, Dan, but he doesn't process the field well enough. He doesn't throw the fucking
But
ball. The ball doesn't
okay,
come out. He's part of the problem.
make it simple. He's part of the problem with their bullshit that they're running. Who's the offensive coordinator?
Luke Getsy, who was the quarterback's coach at Green Bay. And then Nathaniel Hackett got Nathaniel Hackett got the Denver job when Getsy, who was the quarterback's coach, got the Bear offensive coordinator job. So yeah, none of it's good. I mean, the whole thing probably has to go. The president of operations
Getsy looked good when he had Aaron Rodgers.
Right. The president of operations at the place is Kevin Warren. But you can shake the thing up, but there's nowhere to go.
What's going on with their DC?
They don't even have a defensive coordinator.
Yeah, what happened there?
Eberflus, the head coach, is the defensive coordinator. I don't know.
What?
He's off the team. I mean, if you wanted to shake things up and try to rile things up, there's not even a viable coaching candidate on the staff.
They're a mess. But
and the biggest thing is they can't get to the pass rusher. The offense has been awful. The play calling's been awful. Denver's awful. I mean, when they lost by a half 100, their team quit last week. Sean Payton, that's on you. Because you don't lose by 50 points in the National Football League. The talent is too strong for that to ever happen unless you quit.
Shocking.
You can say the Dolphins made them quit. That's fine. You can push people to quit, but people quit on their own. And the Denver Broncos quit. But we'll see what happens this week. Denver minus 3.5. I'll take the lead.
I'm taking Chicago.
So am I.
After that Denver ass whooping.
I think the Bears win the game outright, especially at the hook line. I like the hook line. Who the fuck knows? These teams are awful. Battle for Caleb Williams. I don't know what it is. We spent way too long on a game where neither team has a win yet. Next game on the board is Dan's football team, and it is a very important football game. It's another division game. It is the Baltimore Ravens.
Coming to town.
That's right. Coming to Cleveland to play Dan's Cleveland Browns. Both teams are 2-1 on the season. Cleveland is a 3-point favorite in this game. Talk about Baltimore last week. They come off of their home loss against the Indianapolis Colts.
Yeah, the Colts beat them because, the Colts, they're Baltimore, spanked them.
They stole their team.
Yeah.
They stole their team. Well, and I tell you what, I don't know if you were paying attention to the scoreboard, but Baltimore went right down the field, scored the first 7 points of the game, and then the offense disappeared completely. Disappeared.
Perfect.
I mean, there was kind of lousy conditions. It was kind of like those conditions in Cleveland. That first week was like this misty, somewhat rain. I don't know. I'm not making an excuse for that football team. I hate that football team. Anyway, Cleveland, they come off of their home win against Tennessee. I mentioned the show before. I called Cleveland's defense elite. Some people questioned my
Holy hell.
adjective of elite for Cleveland's defense.
They
They backed it the fuck up last week. They gave up 94 total yards to the Tennessee Titans. Derrick Henry had zero anywhere to go. That team can't score unless Derrick Henry can run the ball, and they shut
They
him
had
down.
negative rushing yards at halftime.
Had 4 play.
But he was
4 play
fine.
better, right?
4, yeah, 4. Yeah, he stepped up. He was fine. That defense, I can't wait to see that defense against Mudbutt.
I'll take the lead. I know where Dan's going. I'm laying a 3 too. I'm 100% laying a 3. Cleveland's a legit football team. If Deshaun Watson gets it going, look out for this football team. They're contenders. Oh God, I can't tell you how
How about
much.
Kareem coming off the street and contributing almost 60 yards between
Great,
running
right?
and catching?
And Ford got a couple of touchdowns. I played him
Yeah.
to get a touchdown. He got 2, one receiving, one rushing. If
Yeah.
I'm not mistaken. I'm not
My son
positive.
Tyler played him.
My little
He got
Bet365 account. Yes, sir. Cash it right now. In any event, I can't tell you how enjoyable it would be to see Cleveland and Miami for the AFC Championship. I would love to see that. We're so far away from that. I don't know why I'm talking about it, but Dan and I are both clearly on Cleveland -3, right?
Yep.
All right, next game on the board. Another
Wow.
hated rival of Dan's, the Pittsburgh Steelers, travel to Houston. Pittsburgh, once again, another 3-point favorite in this game. I feel like we're going to have some pushes in games. There's a lot of
This
threes on the
one,
board in
you
regards
got
to lines.
the Pittsburgh defense against a rookie quarterback. I mean, come on.
Pittsburgh -3 in Houston.
Taking
Pittsburgh's
the Steelers
2-1.
on this one.
Houston's 1-2. Let's talk about Pittsburgh. They won out in Las Vegas on Sunday night. Their offense came alive a little bit.
A little.
Showed a little bit better, right? Obviously,
little.
Obviously a good defensive team, and you know that, and you're not going to
Yeah.
take that away from them. They're a good defensive team. The offense came alive. They have playmakers. Whether or not they can protect Pickett and Pickett can make the right decisions, blah, blah, blah. That's a big question. Houston comes off a monster win in Jacksonville.
Huge.
Where their rookie quarterback certainly looks like the class of the quarterbacks.
Yeah.
He has a 98 quarterback rating. He's thrown 4 touchdowns on the year. He's thrown 0 interceptions. He looked good. He looked good. Down there in, not down there, but over there in Jacks, across the way, I guess. They're probably on a similar plane, I would guess. In any event, D'Amico Ryan's got that team believable. And if Jacksonville is that bad, and they're 1-2 right now, the division's up for grabs with them, Indy, who knows what the hell happens in that division? You never know. Tennessee,
Oh, yeah.
nobody's a
I
great
mean-
team. Pittsburgh, on the road, -3.
I'm taking Pittsburgh on this. That defense against a rookie quarterback, he's playing good, C.J. Stroud, but come on. That defense is pretty good.
The line's short enough on Pittsburgh on a away favorite that I'm going to take it too. I'm going to lay it with Pitt. I think the line's a little bit less than what it should be based upon Houston's great performance in Jacksonville. So we'll see. That has a tendency to influence lines a little bit. Next game on the board, Rams travel to Indianapolis. And 2 kind of surprise teams here. It's a pick'em game, meaning just pick who's going to win this football game. The Rams come off of their loss just last night in Cincinnati, where they've been very game. They're not a horrible football
Now,
team.
if you're in Cincinnati last night and you play in Indy, you're staying somewhere in town, right?
Rams
You wouldn't go
are
back
in
to L.A.,
Cincy.
would you?
Indy, yeah, that makes a lot of sense to stay around. I don't know. It's a good idea. I have no idea. I didn't look that up. But, people thought this was going to be like just a horrible football team. They're not.
Who? Indy or
No,
the Rams?
The Rams. Well, both these teams, but the Rams. Let's start with the Rams because we talk about
Yeah,
the away
but
team first.
I haven't
they're
seen the
better
Rams.
than a decent team.
Yeah, I know. I haven't seen the Rams at all, and they've won games. They blew out Seattle.
They're not
I watched
bottom
that
feeders.
game last night, and I was like, man, you got chances to win.
They keep Stafford upright,
Yeah.
who can fling
I
the ball
can't
around.
stand him.
I know you can't stand him, and then they got a few playmakers. And they got a decent defense. You're not just going to walk over this team. And then Indianapolis, we'll talk about it. What a monster win that was in Baltimore.
Huge.
And remember
Gardner
last
Minshew.
week? That's exactly right. I told you about Gardner Minshew. If Gardner Minshew plays this game, it's going to be a lot closer than people think. He won the game. I fucking love that guy. I absolutely love that guy. I think he could start for a handful of teams in the National Football League.
He's starting right now.
He is. Well, I don't know if he's going to start this week. Anthony Richardson had a concussion. It's probably bad.
Still in the protocol.
So I don't know.
As of this afternoon when I looked.
That game went to overtime. Justin Tucker was short on a 61-yard field goal.
Dude,
Indy's kicker banged.
I mean, if you look at that, I'm watching the TV and I'm like, man, miss it, because I'm,
it was perfectly straight.
It was perfectly straight when those dudes went like that. I was like, holy hell!
I knew it was
because I
short.
thought he made it.
I knew it was short, but
You knew it was?
I could tell. I felt like
I
it was
could
tough.
tell.
And here's the thing. And they had a chance to win the game again with like another 62-yard field goal. And meanwhile, what happens in National Football League is the kicker tells the coaching staff, I can make it from this far going this way. I can make it from this far going this way. And, I mean, Tucker's going to tell him, like, hey, I can't make it from 62. I'll be short. I can kick it right down the fucking middle. I'm the best kicker that the National Football League's ever fucking seen, but I can't make it from 62 here, type of thing. So, in any event, huge win for Indianapolis.
In a dome inside, you can't make it.
It wasn't last week. It was in rain.
Oh
in
no!
Baltimore.
Yeah, you're right. They were at Ratbird.
Yeah, it was rain in Baltimore. Heavy ball, heavy everything,
well,
heavy
that's
atmosphere.
They're in Baltimore.
Anyway, huge win. Defense came up big. They're Indianapolis riding a 2-game winning streak. They're gonna make it a 3-game winning streak against the Rams.
No.
I think Indy's gonna win this game. I do. I don't know who's gonna play. I don't know if it's going to be Minshew or Richardson. If Minshew plays the game, I love him to win the game.
I'm going with
And then I'm
Rams.
missing Jonathan Taylor one bit. That Zach Moss guy's off to a great start. He's running the ball primarily for Indy. Talk a lot about a no-name game, if you will. But Dana odds, again, he's on the Rams. I'm on Indy.
Yep.
All right, fair enough. The next game on the board, division battle. Tampa Bay Buccaneers play the New Orleans Saints. New Orleans, once again, another 3-point line. We're going to have so many pushes, I feel like, on the board. New Orleans -3 in this game. Both these teams are 2-1. Tampa Bay just comes off of their home loss against Philadelphia on Monday night. They were 2-0 before this game, and everybody was wound up, but they got throttled pretty good by the Philadelphia defense. They hadn't turned the ball over before last night. Baker did throw a pick, but anyway, I mean that shit happens. It's not like it's on him type of thing, or like he blew the game or anything like that. Tampa Bay's still in the mix in that really bad division, that NFC South division.
It's disgusting how bad that division is.
And I don't know who's going to win this division. New Orleans, we talked about them a little bit earlier. They come off with their loss at Green Bay, where they led 17-0 and pissed it away. Derek Carr got hurt, and they didn't score a point after he got hurt. And then the Packers got the last 18 points of the game in the fourth quarter, and they lost by a point. They do get Alvin Kamara back this week off his 3-game. Beat somebody up at the Pro Bowl in Las Vegas suspension.
Okay. Did he practice with them? Was he back in the building?
I have no idea,
or is
but
he
he's
just
playing.
coming in?
He play. Well, that's all on Kamara. Did he keep himself in shape and all that good stuff? That's all on him. I don't know, but I guarantee he's playing. New Orleans -3 in this game at home against Tampa. Jameis probably starting against his old team for New Orleans again.
I'm going with Tampa.
Not me. I think New Orleans is a better football team. I like them. I'm going to give the 3. I think it's a very close game. It could come down the wire. I think New Orleans is a better team. I'm laying the 3. Dan and I had odds again. Another game. Here, next game. Washington, Philadelphia. Division game. Very close in proximity to these two towns, if you will. Washington's 2-1. The Philadelphia Eagles are 3-0. Philadelphia full touchdown favorite, -7 in this game. Washington comes off getting blown out home against Buffalo. Sam Howell threw 4 interceptions or turned the ball over 4 times. Is Jacoby Brissett the better option there?
I don't know.
Well, let's put it this way. They have a very good defensive team, right, Dan?
Yeah, they're good, but I don't like the defensive coordinator, and I'm not sold on Bieniemy.
Right. But do you think Jacoby Brissett would give them a better chance to win as opposed to Sam Howell?
It depends on the plays that are called. I mean, Jacoby Brissett was viable for the Browns. I mean, he when he played for us last year, if the defense didn't suck ass, he should have had more wins. I mean, he did what he needed to do, but it was in Stefanski's system.
Right.
That ain't what's happening over there now in Washington with Bieniemy or
Good point.
whatever his name is. Right? Am I saying the right
Eric
guy?
Bieniemy.
Yeah.
He's the O coordinator now.
So,
Washington took a lateral move out of
Brissett's a viable quarterback in a certain offense.
It's got to be Taylor Tim is what Dan's saying. Philadelphia -7 this game, Dan. I don't know.
We're going with Philadelphia.
I mean, they're really rounding into form. I mean, they played pretty well.
Hey, and I'm glad we're talking about Phil. You know how to stop that freaking quarterback sneak bullshit?
Yeah, I do.
How?
You outlaw it.
Not outlaw.
It was up for review in the offseason.
Let them do it. You watch enough soccer.
Oh, God. Okay.
When you get a kick close to the goal and there's a wall set up, what do?
Lay somebody down?
Lay somebody down, baby. Put some big-ass 375-pound lineman laying down across the ball.
I don't know. I understand what you're saying.
I'm telling the whole kid's getting low.
Over him now, right? Yeah.
The lineman can't get low.
I don't like it. I think they should have outlawed it. Like, literally, they put 3-4 dudes in the backfield. They snapped the ball to Hurts, and like 4 men.
Lay somebody down, and then I'm telling you, I got it figured out.
Yeah, I
lay somebody down like they do in soccer to stop the kick. So the wall jumps, and there's a dude laying down to get blasted with the ball if they kick it low. Lay somebody down right across the center.
Dan thinks he has the.
I'm telling you, that's low man wins.
I don't know. I understand what you're
saying.
saying.
Put some freaking dude on the ground.
Okay, a fat dude on the ground, they're just gonna jump over him, right? Are they gonna trip on him and fall down? And then
the lineman can't get down low, so there's other dudes behind the guy. I'm telling you, it'll work.
All right, we gotta send something to Ron Rivera this week. Say, hey, you ever see this soccer show? They put the guy down the ground. Do that when they try that bullshit against you. I think reality sets in for the Washington football team. I think they have pretty good defense. I know it's a division game, but it's going to be heated.
I mean, we need a whiteboard so I could draw this shit up.
One line.
They be running it in the middle.
I'm going to lay Philadelphia -7 as well. I guarantee this show's long. Cincinnati at Tennessee. These teams aren't very far apart from each other. Tennessee, 1.5-point favorite in this game. Both the teams are 1-2.
Tennessee got embarrassed in Cleveland. I'm taking them on this.
Hold on. Since that, we talk about them.
Joe Burrow ain't right. Their defense is suspect.
Jesus, they come off with their win against the Los Angeles Rams. You're right. They squeak by. Burrow doesn't look himself. He doesn't.
No.
There's no two ways about it. I mean, Chase got involved. Jamar Chase got wildly involved.
He had to get involved.
Doesn't pass.
I'm kind of getting tired of his attitude.
Who?
Jamar Chase. He's kind of turning into a diva.
What attitude did he show?
I don't like it.
Yeah. Tennessee -1.5. I mean,
be like Amari Cooper.
Don't say anything.
Yeah. Just do your shit.
I hear you. I mean, Dan mentioned it immediately because he's excited about his football team. Their offense got completely shut down in Cleveland. I mean, Derrick Henry couldn't run the ball, and when Derrick Henry can't run the ball, the recipe goes in the trash. Because Brian Tannehill's not going to
run the ball. They're moving 2 tight ends. Myles Garrett, did you see that? When Myles Garrett changed side, the 2 tight ends were moving, and then he started going back and forth. It was hysterical. They ended up using a timeout.
What Cincinnati win that game by last? Like 19-16 or something like that?
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't impressive, right? Until Joe Burrow looks better, I'm not willing to play him either. I'm going to lay the short line with the Tennessee Titans. Dan and I agree. Next game on the board starts Sunday, 4 p.m. slate. Thank God. It's the Vegas Raiders traveling in division to play the Los Angeles Chargers, obviously not too far away from each other. Vegas just comes off of their loss on Sunday night at home against Pittsburgh. By the way, the Chargers are 5-point favorites. The Chargers won that game in Minnesota, back and forth game. Let's talk about the Raiders game against Pittsburgh. Did you watch it on Sunday night?
Yes.
All right. They didn't show much.
No, they didn't show much.
Questionable decision late not to go for it.
To me, I agree. You need a touchdown.
Right.
You kick a field goal from 50 friggin' yards, but you're right there. I'm still scratching.
You have a chance to tie the game with a touchdown and 2-point conversion, right?
Yeah.
As the theory or this thought, at least in the viewer's thoughts or Dan I's thoughts, not that they're necessarily correct. But I thought it was a questionable decision by McDaniels. They struggled to move the ball. Josh Jacobs hasn't really got on track for the Vegas Raiders. Garoppolo's not done much. Devontae Adams got a ship pot full of balls, like 15 fucking balls in that game, like crazy. And then we talk about the Chargers. They won that game. Did you see any of that Charger Minnesota game? I know it was playing up against you. I mean, it was back and forth. Dude, Brandon Staley's still fucking nuts. He went for a 4th down that didn't work, like on his own fucking 20-yard line late in the game. Like nuts shit. And it didn't come back to bite him because Minnesota didn't score. Maybe they didn't make it on their own 4th down. I don't know.
Hey, if you're going to get fired, do it your way.
It was a wild game. Chargers -5 in this game.
I'm going with the Chargers on this one.
I'm not. I think the game's close enough. If 5's too many for me, 4, I might have went for it. 3.5, 4. 5, that's a big number in division, if you ask me. They can outscore them. They'd lose Mike Williams for the year. Their big wide receiver.
Yeah, I saw that.
Quentin Johnson, their number 1 draft pick, is going to have to step up. He's another big dude who can run like the wind. Dan likes the Chargers, giving a pretty hefty number in division, -5. I'm going to take the Vegas Raiders. Next game on the board, a little bit of an intriguing game to me, and only because of what kind of happened last week with Dallas, but it's New England traveling to Dallas. Dallas is a full 7-point favorite in this game. New England's 1-2. Dallas is the opposite record, 2-1. New England, they come off of their win in New York against the Jets. They did just enough. They won the game 15-10. And, the Jets have a really good defense. Indianapolis, New England played solid football, especially defensively and things like that. New England may be the, I don't know if it's most boring or boringest football team in the National Football League. You talk about a boring fucking football team to watch. Holy shit. At least the Bears are awful and I see train wreck and shit like that. You don't see anything. You see solid football that goes 2 or 3 yards and 2 or 3 yards, and it doesn't go 2 or 3 yards and we punt. I don't know. It's a boring ass football team, but they do enough to win football games here and there.
Hold on. I'm back from the bathroom.
He's back.
You're talking about New England?
How boring of a football team they
You
are.
just got to watch Mac Jones because he's a dirty motherfucker.
Kick people in the balls?
Yeah, come on.
What's wrong with that? Against the rules,
Dude.
clearly. I was kidding.
Seriously. Nut punching
Did it happen
Sauce
again this week?
Gardner.
Oh, it did? I didn't know.
This
I didn't
past
see all
week, I'm like, dude, he's got a problem.
That's ridiculous. And that needs to be addressed. I did not even hear about this week. Dallas, once again, 7-point favorites to recap. I know Dan just used the outdoor facilities. Dallas come off a wild loss in Arizona. A wild loss in Arizona. They were favored by damn near 2 touchdowns to win the football game.
What did we pick on that?
I took the points in Arizona.
Did you take?
Dallas.
Oh,
I took the
shit.
points. Anyway, Arizona's going to come up. We'll talk about that in a bit. But this is the same old thing. The same old inconsistent football team with the Dallas Cowboys, who on paper look like this beautiful little shiny toy. And great thing. And they do have a great defense. You know what?
Well, they got a great defense, but what's his name? Tore his ACL.
Who?
Diggs.
Oh,
Diggs.
Diggs. Yeah. In practice, did they miss Diggs that much? And here, I want to say something about the offense. It looks awesome. Tony Pollard, CeeDee Lamb, all these other fantastic players. I think Dak Prescott is a below-average NFL quarterback.
He's Tony Romo. It's the same thing.
Dude, Tony Romo's way fucking better than he is. He sucks. I think he sucks. I think this team is going nowhere with the play at quarterback with Dak Prescott. They become wildly inconsistent when the defense somehow gives up points because they have a very good defense. The offense can't carry it. They ran the ball a shit ton. Dak, I don't know. -7 in this game against New England, Dan.
I'll take Dallas at home at -7.
Not me. I think this is a fucking barn burner. I think New England might even beat them.
Really?
I do.
With a nut puncher?
They're not going to score much. I think they're going to throttle the Dallas defense and make this game close. And, dude, you know who else I don't like? Mike fucking McCarthy calling plays.
Oh, no. I don't like that either.
Mike McCarthy calling plays and Dak Prescott as your quarterback is a recipe for a really shitty pot of soup, if you ask me. I'm taking...
What would you call that?
Shit soup. Shit soup. Anyway, I don't know. That's off the rails. Next game on the board is not supposed to be a very good football game. It is the Arizona Cardinals traveling to the San Francisco 49ers. The 49ers are a full 2-touchdown favorite in this game. -14.
Have we ever had a 2-touchdown game?
Yeah, we have. We've had 17,
Somebody playing
18,
the Jets,
9.
probably.
Yeah, we've had nuts games before, especially during COVID, I remember it. I don't know. But a huge line, obviously, in the National Football League of 2 touchdowns. Arizona's 1-2. They come off of their huge home win against Dallas. It was a really good performance. They're certainly not the worst team in the National Football League.
No, your Bears are.
And you know what? I'm not going to wear Bears shit on this show until they win a football game. And you may see me in my on top the cage gear the rest of the year. It may happen. I hope the fuck
You need some brown shit.
The only saving grace to that is that they end up with Caleb Williams. But in any event, we're not talking about the Bears.
Getting you a Browns.
Arizona, great
shirt for your
performance.
birthday.
Dude, they ran for over 200 yards against the Dallas Cowboys.
James
against the
Conner.
Dallas Cowboys defense.
James Conner looked like a madman.
They hit Rondale Moore, that super fast kid out of Purdue from a few years ago. Remember him?
Yeah.
Yeah, Dan and I like Big Ten football. He remembers him. Josh Dobbs. 7 years in the National Football League. First
First
win
win.
as a starter. Hell yeah. Dan, can you give me like something out of that very bottom? I know it's really gross. I don't know if it's Michelob Ultra, like leftover shit from the tailgate, like leftover, very bottom, Dan. Yeah, very, and it's going to be hard to pull out. So it doesn't matter. You can get one of those peach beers, one of those, one of Kevin's. Miller. It doesn't matter. Bring one fucking beer.
I ain't bringing that fucking ultra shit.
All right, what do you got? All right, the peach thing. I thought you might bring the Miller
I
High
got
Life.
on tap.
Yeah, this one, you like it? Mm-hmm. All right, very good.
That's on tap
I haven't
in my
tried any.
house.
Keaton was drinking this one. Anyway, Arizona, to recap, Arizona, San Francisco minus 14.
I got to go with Arizona. I ain't taking 14's too big. Yeah, I mean, the 49ers are a very good football team, but 14's too big.
I think they're the best football team in the National Football League. I think the Dolphins maybe second in Ken's power rankings right now, if you will. But obviously, they're a great football team on both sides of the ball. Prop bettors, McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey scored in 12 straight games. He will break the record, the National Football League record of scoring in 13 straight games in a row. If he scores a touchdown, I'm sure DraftKings and FanDuel, all those people will adjust your line accordingly. But he's going to score in this football game. I guarantee they make sure he breaks the record. It's an automatic play for your prop bettors. I agree with Dan. I mean, getting a 2-touchdown gift, I'm going to take it. I mean, Arizona's played pretty well. Who knows? Maybe they get some opening touchdown they believe. Who knows what the hell happens? But anyway, Dan and I are both on the Arizona Cardinals getting the 2 touchdowns. Sunday Night Football, mercifully up, it was supposed to be a great football game. It is not. It is a Kansas City.
Hopefully there's a soccer game on.
Probably. It is a Kansas City Chiefs traveling to play the New York Jets. Obviously, the Jets team was supposed to have Aaron Rodgers. He's not playing. This was supposed to be a huge football game, a huge football quarterback, contest, if you will. It's not. The Chiefs are minus 9.5 in this game, traveling on the road. Big number on the road. Chiefs are 2-1. Jets are 1-2. Chiefs come off of their absolute beatdown of the Chicago Football Bears. How about this, Dan? Game was on your TV at home as well, right?
Oh, they changed the game.
At fucking halftime.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen
Yeah.
a game that's so bad that they changed it at halftime?
I was
Holy
laughing.
shit.
I wanted to text you, and I was like, no, I'm not even gonna. I'm not gonna.
like, holy shit.
I'm not throwing gas on the fire because I was like, wait, what?
I've never seen a nationally broadcast team to everybody's living room in fucking America go so bad that we turn it off at halftime and go to another game. Anyway, T-Slip was there, all that other good stuff.
Who did they change to?
I think Dallas, Arizona.
I
game.
think
Fuck,
it
I don't
was.
know. Yeah. See,
Oh my God.
Yeah, ridiculous. Obviously,
no, that was bad.
they're doing all right. I mean, they played a really bottom feeder team, my Chicago Football Bears. They looked great. Of course they did. The Jets, they come off their home loss against New England. What are they going to do, Dan? Look, here's the deal.
Dude, they just signed Trevor Siemian. And I'm like, wait, that's going to help you. I'm like, hold on.
All that does is make...
Hackett. What, wasn't Siemian on the Broncos? So they signed some idiot that might know his terminology?
Dude, Dan...
And he sucks?
The defense is really good for the Jets, right? Will we agree on that? Will you agree with me on that? The Jets' defense is good.
Yeah. No, I'm...
And windows are very small in the
They're very
National
small.
Football League. Very small because of
Okay. Who are
monetary,
you gonna
financial
get?
stuff, and who you got to pay, and who needs a new contract, and who doesn't need a new contract. Who?
Who are you going to get? Who can you make a...
I think the best option for them, Kirk Cousins. Minnesota's 0
Right
fucking
now,
3.
you're going to trade...
I'm going to give up. Dude, the windows are so small in the National Football League. They have a really, really, really good defense. And I'm not going to throw out the term elite, but they have a damn good fucking defense. A playoff caliber, who knows what the F happens defense. They have playmakers on offense. They don't have the chess piece. And
No.
obviously, Zach Wilson's not the answer.
He's... Well,
Are you going
definitely not
to
the
throw
answer.
away this year? You gonna throw away this window of the year, and maybe
So,
we have one more year left
but
in the
if
window
you-
of defense?
Well, even if you throw it away, you're not guaranteed that Rodgers is going to come back.
Right.
Even though he did some fucking voodoo
Yeah, well,
shit
I mean, I
on
guess
his
Dan's about
Achilles.
saying you pay a bounty for a Kirk Cousins or a Matt Stafford or whatever the situation is. What's going to happen next year with that person? Because if Aaron Rodgers says he's coming back, I don't know. It's a fucking train wreck, but can you really piss away this season? Can you really tell your players that we're going to piss away the season because everybody in the Jets locker room knows that Zach Wilson can't play professional fucking football. Everybody knows it in their locker room.
Well, and they know Trevor Siemian can't either.
Absolutely.
That's why I'm like, why what? The message, yeah, no.
Minus 9.5, Dan.
The Chiefs never cover.
I knew it was coming.
They never cover, but I got to go with the Chiefs on this one.
How do you not, right?
They
haven't played that well. You know what? They haven't played very well.
Who, the Chiefs?
They haven't. They beat the Bears. They beat the Bears. The Bears are a horrible fucking football team. I'm going to say that. I want to put my hood on as a Bears fan. Anyway, I'm going to take the points in Jets. I'm going to take the points in Jets.
Who else did the Chiefs play?
They played Jacksonville the week before. They won like 17-9. Their offense hasn't been great. They don't have great receivers. The Jets have a really good defense. I think the Jets somehow keep this game close. I think this game ends up being like 20 to 13 or something.
I'm going to change it. I'm going to go with the Jets.
Does that really convince you?
Yeah.
Because of their defense?
No, Kansas City doesn't cover.
They never did. They are both on the Jets. I think I might have pushed them that way.
But they suck.
Boy, do I have no idea who I'm going to pick for our best bets. But we're not there yet. We're on Monday Night Football. Fairly mercifully. I don't know how long this show went. But anyway, this game was supposed to be good because the Giants were supposed to be good off of their playoff appearance last year, right? They're not a good football team. Seattle's 2-1. They travel all the way across the country to play. The Giants had the upper record of 1-2. Seattle comes off their home win against Carolina. It wasn't very impressive in the first half. The second half, they kind of got things together. 2 weeks ago, they won in Detroit, though. A big overtime win. They win this game.
They whipped the shit out of the Rams.
Streak. I mean, this team, was formidable last year, and they were a playoff team. They're kind of maybe putting some building blocks together, if you will. I don't know. They're a pretty good football team, I think. The Giants, who are, by the way, did I mention the line? They're 1.5-point favorites in this game. I don't think I mentioned the line. I apologize for that. They have a long week to prepare for this. They were out in San Francisco, and they lost on Thursday night. Absolutely got destroyed. But meanwhile, here's the thing. I still don't think 26 plays. I don't think Saquon Barkley plays. And if he doesn't play, they're at a loss, like a huge loss. Like, I don't see any offensive scheme that works for that football team unless 26 plays. I'm going to take the lead. I think Seattle smokes them.
I don't know on that.
I know it's a night game. I know the fans are wound up.
It's in New York. The threat of 26, even if he's not healthy, if he comes out there for a handful of plays, I'm going with the Giants.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Short enough line. Home team. I get it. Dan, our odds again. I probably have 5, maybe 6. I don't know. We have more than probably normal, I think. We are on to the best bets. We call them elephant picks on this show. I have absolutely zero idea. It's going to take me a while. Maybe Dan has an idea.
Yeah.
Who you like?
The Browns over the Ratbirds.
Yeah.
Just because our defense is playing fucking lights out.
Sorry. I know it's been delayed. Right. I agree. I agree completely. I love New England. I know it's kind of shady.
What?
I am going to take the Pittsburgh Steelers to announce themselves to be a part of that very good AFC North and win the game on the road by 3 points or more. Pittsburgh is my elephant pick this week. Been a fun show, man. I'm so happy to be home. My God. I love my kids. I'm glad they had a great time at the game. It was a long time. Thank you, Ronnie. Thank you, everybody, for watching and listening. That was a great marquee thing of football last week. There was a lot of really good football games. Not as much again this. I don't know what the best game is. You know what the best college football game is?
I don't even know. I haven't even looked.
You know what? Our Notre Dame football team. Well, Notre Dame plays in Duke. Remember Duke opening week with that awesome scene against Clemson, and they beat them like a drum.
Wait, we're playing Duke this week?
At Duke, at night, college game day at Duke. The candle be lit. We have a pretty good football team. They lost in the last 5 seconds, as Coach Lou said. Anyway.
Because we only had 10 fucking guys.
If you haven't seen that snippet, watch it from the Pat McAfee show. You'll pee your pants. You'll be crying. It's fantastic. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.